The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 800. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Before I start today's episode, I just wanted to let you know that this will be the last episode of Season 5, and we will be back for Season 6 on September 1st, 2020. In the meantime, check out the past episodes of the Tao of Self-Confidence, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is a communications consultant, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Carla Ravanes Higham. Carla, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hi, Sheena. I'm doing good today. Thank you for having me on your show. So I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines. I graduated with a degree in international marketing with a minor in public relations from the American City University. I worked as a publicist and communications specialist for multinational companies in Southeast Asia, such as Coca-Cola, Nivea, Honda, and Starbucks, to name a few. I have worn many hats during my career in the Philippines in the field of communications, and I'm also a lifestyle columnist for one of the longest running newspapers in the Philippines, the Manila Times.
Thanks for sharing that. And Carla, what's your cultural background?
I'm 100% Filipino.
Thanks for sharing that. And what's your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite quote would be from Eleanor Roosevelt, and she says, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along."
Thanks for sharing that great quote. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
For me, self-confidence, of course, is trusting in your abilities, in your skills, in your talents, and knowing that you can bring unique things to any situation, to any work environment, or any table, so to speak. But more than just believing in your abilities, self-confidence is all about resilience. I say this because life can be challenging and it doesn't always work in our favor, whether in the boardroom or in our personal lives. And a big part of believing in yourself is understanding that no matter what comes your way, you can bounce back and that you have what it takes to start over if need be. I think this is the part of self-confidence that we miss out on. At the beginning of any project or anything new, we cheer ourselves on and we're ready for any beginning. But it's in the middle, when trials come and things don't turn out the way that we want them to, that our self-confidence is tested. And this is when we need it the most. Usually when we fail, we instantly lose our self-confidence, our trust in ourselves. But self-confidence is not just about winning. People often relate the two. They often say, oh, if I'm self-confident, I'm going to win immediately. But it's important to understand that it doesn't always work that way because life happens. So it's very important to understand that our self-confidence is tethered to the trust that we have in ourselves. To get back up, because we know that we will win. So oftentimes our confidence is shaken when we fail, but when we trust in our resilience, we become fearless in our pursuits because we carry within us the belief that no matter what we go through, we can learn from it.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. I totally agree. When it comes to confidence, we're going to get knocked down, more than once, sometimes even 100, 1,000 times, but it's always, keeping ourselves to getting back up is, what is important, right? What is most important, because that's what helps us build the confidence and strength and resilience to keep moving forward. So I really love that definition that you mentioned. And what was your life like before you discovered self-confidence?
I was just scared of everything. I was scared of what people would think of me. I was scared of tainting my well-curated life. I barely took any risks. It was a good life, but it was boring. I felt like I wasn't experiencing things. And at the same time, I just felt like I wasn't fully who I was because I wasn't allowing myself to be in situations that challenged me and stretched me. So I just felt a little small and if I could describe it, it felt like living in a box, so to speak.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something we all go through, right? I mean, being scared of everything, especially especially as, Asian women, we've been programmed to just kind of like hide in the background, never make any noise, just pleasing others, looking good, not realizing that really hurts our confidence. But what was that point in your life when you realized you can go out there and, have that confidence to be who you are today? What was that aha moment?
I agree with everything you said. As Asian women, we're just tasked to just sit down and be quiet. So it took a lot of experiences to get me to that point as well. And in relation to my aha moment, it was actually leaving everything I knew behind. I moved to Los Angeles full time in 2017, and that meant starting over. It meant leaving behind everything that I knew. It meant leaving behind my network, leaving behind my support system, and just really starting from the bottom. And I think that takes a lot of humility. And it was when I was at rock bottom that I was able to rebuild my life in a way that made sense. Just like the quote that I shared with you, because I was able to face the things that I feared the most. It gave me a different kind of belief in myself that I can overcome a lot of things I never thought I could. It's been a series of risks since then. My life looks very different now. There's still days when I second guess myself, but I just look back on all the things that I experienced in the past 3 years. And that's just what inspires me to just keep taking the next step.
Thanks for sharing that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you'd give to her?
I wish I took this advice earlier in life, but my mom would always say to not fear anything. She would always be the first person to encourage me to go after the things that I want. And to anyone who's listening and going through a hard time, I just wanted to tell you to just go after it, whatever it may be, because I truly believe that there's no losing in life. Every experience either makes you win or makes you learn, and both things are beneficial to our journey. So I believe that everything is happening for a purpose, and every right turn, left turn has a critical part to play in our journey. And all of these experiences are very important. So that would be my advice.
Thanks for sharing that great tip. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, of course. So my Instagram would contain all of my life's work. It's Carla Ravanes Higham. That's my Instagram, and my blog or my website would be Carla Bianca Ravanes.
Thanks for sharing that. To our listeners, if you want to connect with Carla, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Carla's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Carla today for taking the time to share her stories and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the work that you do.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to the listeners, this is just a reminder that this will be the last episode of Season 5, and be on the lookout for Season 6 starting September 1, 2020. Thanks again for your continued support. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Want to learn how you can use podcasting to market your business? Download your free report by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.